Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Garlic 101 guide. We are going to be covering a lot of information in this lesson. Um, Garlic grows in Kentucky from October is when you plant it, and you harvest in June. So it's a 9-month grower. There's a lot of steps that you want to consider in order to have the best crop possible. So we're going to start with our soil. I have got a 12 by 4 raised bed that I'm going to be planting mine in. It previously had tomatoes, potatoes, corn, peppers, a lot of the solanaceous families, a lot of heavy feeders heavy feeders of nutrients. So I'm going to be sure that I fertilize before every new planting. I prefer to use animal or plant derived fertilizers instead of the synthetic stuff because this will feed the microbial life that's going to make your plants, the nutrients more bioavailable to your plants and to your body. So I've already pre-measured the amount that I need, and I'm going to spread that on. It's considered a mineral fertilizer so that your plants can take it up throughout the season as needed instead of a liquid-based fertilizer or water-based fertilizer where they have to kind of consume it as soon as you pour it, and then the rain washes it out with every rain or every watering, so that this is a little bit more longevity. So I also have a soil mineralizer that I'm going to use. Excited about that. So the first thing that you want to think about when buying garlic is it's important to get garlic that grows well in your hardiness zone. Your hardiness zone for this area, we're in Louisville, Kentucky, is zone 6. Kentucky does split their zones up between 6A, 6B, and zone 7, all of which are pretty similar as far as where your plant is going to grow best. And the hardiness zone is just a USDA designation for extreme temperatures so that you can gauge what's best to grow in your area. So you can buy your garlic from local farmers markets, or if you do order it online, be sure that it's suitable for this zone. You probably wouldn't want to buy it at a large supermarket where they might source from overseas, where they might not grow as well here, is what I'm saying. Okay, so you're going to get your garlic that's for our zone. You're going to have your soil nice and loose and ready to plant. And then you're going to make garlic selections. So there's going to be 1,000 varieties, but there's only going to be 2 different types. You've got hard neck and soft neck garlic. They have different characteristics. So I'm going to talk about those quick. There's also an elephant garlic, which is a pretty mild garlic. You've got huge cloves, but they're super mild, but they're really pretty. But the 2 main types of garlic is hard neck and soft neck. I want to talk a little bit about hard neck first. It's called a hard neck because it develops a stalky scape or a stalky stem, and then there's an offshoot of a flower, like a stem that comes out, and then it will grow a flower. You have to snap those off the hard necks, and you can eat them. They're delicious in pesto or omelets, or you can steam them like green beans. But the garlic scapes must be harvested in May, early summer, to ensure that the actual garlic bulb cloves up. But that's kind of cool. Hardneck garlic is pretty cold hardy, a little more cold hardy than the soft neck, and larger cloves, more flavorful. But it has a less of a storage life. You are only going to get about 4 to 6 months of storage out of those cloves after you cure them. So then on the flip side, you've got the soft neck garlic. It really doesn't develop that scape. You don't have to worry about picking that. And what's neat about it, the stalk, is it's kind of like palleable, what's the word? It's soft, so you can braid them together. If you've ever seen those beautiful braids of garlic, that's with soft neck garlic. They are a little bit milder in flavor, but they have and smaller cloves, but they have such a longer storage life. They can last from anywhere from 9 to 12 months after curing, so that's pretty cool. So those are the considerations. So once you get your garlic selected, then you want to crack your bulbs. Bulb cracking is fun. And there's a few tips I want to give you about that. You're just planting the cloves of the garlic bulb, okay? And these are already kind of coming apart. They're already split apart. Some of them are, some of them aren't. You just want to break it away from the initial stem, okay? You're just breaking them apart. Oop, that just came right off, okay? Some of them are harder to come apart than others, but that's all you're going to do, okay? You're going to discard the centerpiece. You don't need that. And these are your garlic cloves that you're going to plant, all right? And you don't want to break these off your stock too far in advance because they can start to maybe go bad sooner. So you just want to do that as you go. You want to leave the like papery wrapper on them. You don't need to peel them at all. You want to keep that on. It's kind of like a candy wrapper. It keeps it, a little more preserved for longer. And I've already set some out. I've got my measuring tape behind me. You can see it. Again, I've got 4 foot by 12 foot, and you can put about 8 cloves per square foot. Okay, I've got 48 square foot. I can fit about 300 cloves back there, 280 roughly. So I may not plant that many. That's a little much just for me. I do like to, cure them and resell them in the fall if they last that long, next fall. But you want to plant them about 4 to 6 inches apart and about 2 to 3 inches down. Okay, 4 to 6 inches apart on each side, in the row and between rows, and then about 2 to 3 inches in the soil. And you're going to plant it root side down. Okay, that's the root side. That's the top side. That goes up. And then once you've got everything planted, it's kind of nice to like lay them out. I've already kind of got some stuff laid out. I'm going to show you. And then I'm going to put the fertilizer on before I do any planting. But I do want to show you guys. I've already kind of got this measured out. Oops, let me lower this. You can see the white garlic. That's a garlic. I've got them every 6 inches, okay? Between rows and within the row. I've got them all the way down, okay? And I haven't popped them down yet because once you plant them, you can't see them. So I like to lay mine out first and then plant, because then I can see how far into the bed I'm going and that sort of thing. Okay, so let me sprinkle on my fertilizer and we will get to planting. Okay, I'm just going to kind of broadcast this on. And I'm just going to do the entire bed because I might plant the whole bed. I may or may not. I'm not sure yet. If I don't use up the whole bed with garlic, I'm going to put some cover crop down, which is nice for winter preservation and soil fertility over the winter. Okay, so that's it with the fertilizer, guys. It's down. You don't really even have to like mix it in too much. I might do this as I plant. I might just rough it around a little bit. So that's really it. I'm gonna go ahead and plant and start the demo. And then we're going to cover it up with straw mulch, and that'll be the end of it. I think I'm just going to do it right here so they don't take too much time. I'm going to set this so that I know where to plant my next row of garlic, okay? This is my cutoff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 35 cloves in there now, and that's going to produce 35 bulbs of garlic, okay? So, depending on what your needs are, you have to decide how many you'd like to grow. Well, here it is. My buds are pretty soft. Look how big this clove is. This is an elephant. So gorgeous. So I'm just going to pop this right in. Okay? It's real easy. You don't even probably need a trowel. And then you kind of just cover it back up. Okay? You kind of pop it down and cover it up. This is a papery thing. Yeah, so, garlic planting is really easy. And so what it's going to do, after we get it planted, we're going to cover it with straw mulch to prevent it from the soil from getting too cold over the winter, and that it will heave, fall, and freeze and kind of pop the garlic up. So in an effort to avoid that, we're going to put some straw mulch down. That's going to help regulate the temperature under there. And it's also going to act as a weed barrier in the spring. Okay, so what we can expect is in probably about a month or so, these are all going to start to sprout. Okay, so they're going to sprout right through the right through the straw.
and then they're going to go dormant over the winter. All right, so they're just going to grow maybe 3 or 4 or 5 inches, and then they're not going to do anything until spring comes in about March or April, and then they're going to grow again, and they're going to grow and grow until they're about 3 foot tall. Okay, the hard neck's going to develop the scape, which kind of looks like a little green pigtail. It's kind of curly, cute, and you're going to pick those off. And then in a few more weeks from the time you clip those off, you're going to notice the garlic plant is going to start to die back. You're going to have some yellow and brown leaves, starting at the bottom of the plant, and it's going to start working its way up. Then you can do like a test dig. That's what we always did to see if your cloves are forming well, because you're going to have a bulb under there, but they're not ready unless they're actually cloving up. If the bulb is like just a round bulb, the garlic's not ready yet. It needs to clove out. So it's going to, just take a little time, and then you'll be ready to pick them. You want to hang them or put them somewhere nice and dry, it's a ventilated area, to cure them. Okay, that's the next step. So we've got those planted. So the curing stage takes about a month, like I was saying. It needs to be an area that's shaded from the sun and from rain, well ventilated, so you can hang them in a garage or a basement, with a fan blowing on them, just to kind of create circulation to prevent any kind of molding. And then once you do that for about a month, they're ready to go. You can store them. You can eat them anytime before that, but they'll keep longer if you do the curing stage. So I hope this was helpful. Please reach out if you guys have any garlic questions. I'm happy to answer them, and I hope you all have a good garlic season. Thanks.